Hey, how y'all doing out there? I got some old crazy news for y'all. Oprah and TD Jakes done lost a whole lot of fans sitting up there talking about they never partied with Diddy. When you got countless videos, countless pictures of Oprah Winfrey and TD Jakes partying with Diddy.
I have never been near a puff party. Never been near. And anybody who knows me knows if there is a party, I'm the first one out.
Right.
I'm the first one out.
I stopped by Puffy's house for 30 minutes to say happy birthday to him during the day at 2 o'clock with staff people. And out of that came a love affair and all kinds of stuff that I have never seen.
You too?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now I'm almost 70 years old. What do I look like? And I am a grandfather. What do I look like at this late day? You know.
Why they speaking on Diddy if they ain't got nothing to do with it? I don't understand. Why kick a man when he down? Oprah and TD Jakes, both billionaires. You figure they got other stuff to talk about. Why they ain't talking about the Lord? Why they ain't talking about what they can do for the community? That's why they allegedly lost millions of dollars after they said what they said, because people ain't going for it no more. You got everybody in Black America looking at TD Jakes and Oprah with the side eye because they act like we ain't seen what we seen. Tyler Perry going through it right now. He got a lawsuit out on him for $260 million. I wouldn't be surprised if they denied partying with him in the future.
I pray his favor. I pray the blood of Jesus will come upon you right now. Keep you in the care. God, I thank you for your blessings.
A lot of people saying TD Jakes had to pull some stunts just to get back in good graces with society. They saying that he faked that heart attack. He been faking a lot of things. He stepped down from the church due to his affiliation with Diddy. And I figure if he wasn't doing what people said he did, why he got to go through all that? What got him running out the back door unless somebody was running in his back door? I love TD Jakes, man. He's still my favorite pastor. He the Michael Jordan of preaching, so I ain't never gonna get on here and say nothing bad about him, but he said he had a massive heart attack on stage, but it looked like he took too many melatonins.
I didn't really realize what was happening to me on stage until I got to the hospital, and the doctor leaned over in my ear and said, "You had a massive heart attack." And the reason I didn't realize it is because I had none of the symptoms that they say, no numbness, no sharp pain, no anything. I just kind of drifted off to sleep. I didn't know what it was, but I almost died.
Massive heart attack.
He said 5 minutes later I'd have been dead on arrival. The right side of my heart had completely stopped getting blood at all. And as long as I was up preaching, I felt fine. But when I sat down, the adrenaline dropped. And it exposed the fact that I was preaching with half of my heart closed through a clot. And then I had my whole church, and when I say my whole church, I mean global, not just the congregation. Even people who didn't go to my church, people everywhere sending prayers. I'm so thankful, and I want to use this opportunity to thank them.
I don't see why somebody would have to go through all that trouble just to deny some allegations. It ain't like he ain't pro LBGTQ. They asked him about it, and he said he all for it. We know Diddy's zesty. He all about that boy on boy. They was calling TD Jakes the power bottom. You figure he would be happy with that. People been spreading rumors about Oprah and Gayle King for years, so maybe they need to get with Diddy. Diddy with Ellen. They with Ellen. So they cool with Ellen, but they ain't cool with Diddy. They a party with Ellen, but they won't party with Diddy.
What do you think?
I think that it's great that, you know, someone like Oprah who's successful has to pave the way for acceptance in the community. I mean, if this is what we have to do to break down barriers, then let's do it.
That's what you think. What do you think?
I've seen it in the Bible. It clearly states that homosexuality is wrong. And I feel that you are a powerful woman and you have done so much. And if you are going to represent yourself as a Christian, and then you're going to go on the show and say that you also support that, it's double standarding.
Well, I have a different view of Christian than you do. Okay? And the God I serve doesn't care whether you're tall or short or whether you were born black or Asian or gay. And so that's just a difference of belief. And I don't expect to change your belief today, because I have, just before I came down here, I'm late today because I was in the makeup room arguing with somebody who was telling me how all gay people are going to hell, and now I'm going to hell with all the other gay people for doing the show. I take full responsibility for my going to hell or heaven. I take full responsibility, and I feel that everybody who's concerned about me now going to hell because I'm doing the Ellen DeGeneres show, I think that you all should take that energy and try to create a little heaven here on earth for everybody, and I take full responsibility for it. I take full responsibility for it. See, I believe God created Ellen. I believe God did that.
Right.
And if gay Ellen says she's gay, I believe God created her gay. I believe God did that.
You can't stand up there on that show and in front of this whole American society and say that you support that. I mean,
I support her right to be who she thinks she is.
Do you think, I'm assuming, LGBT community and the black church can coexist?
Absolutely.
Let me push that question, because...
Hello? I once had Diddy text me, "Welcome to the family," but I was by a platinum-selling producer who was one of his cohorts.
With all this madness going on in the world, we would expect more out of Oprah and TD Jakes. But like I said earlier, they trying to kick a brother when he down. When they both pro everything he had going on before the allegations. They was at them parties, we seen the pictures. And ain't nothing wrong with that. They make it seem like it's a crime to stand by another millionaire, billionaire, like they ain't able to be in the same room together without it being criminal. I would have liked it better if they would have sat up there and said, yeah, we partied with Diddy and had a damn good time too. Best chicken wings we ever had. Best drinks, best service. We had the time of our lives with Diddy. We loved the brother before we found out what he got going on behind closed doors. And on top of that, that ain't nobody business. It wasn't no children involved. It was all consensual, a bunch of consensual adults doing some freaky deaky things. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. TD Jakes can't call nobody out for being a sinner when he got a congregation full of sinners that need deliverance. And the only reason why Diddy reached out to this man is because he know that he needed the Lord. He said during his speech, he wanted to thank TD Jakes and Cassie for freaking off, holding him down in the dark times, y'all. And what really pissed me off is how TD Jakes had to explain why he was hanging around Diddy.
Tell you something, and that's why, don't say. That's why people get on my nerves talking about who you should be seen with. I do homeless shelters. I walk in prison ministries. I deal with murderers. I deal with rapists and killers because they're our children, our sons and our daughters. Hallelujah. I never have to justify stooping low. See, they put you in a situation where you can't win. If you hang out with the rich folk, you're snooty. If you stoop down low and get somebody in trouble, you had no business. So I'm supposed to sit at home and do nothing. I went in the prisons. I ministered to the inmates. I've had 40,000 people to go through our Texas Offenders Reentry Initiative and get jobs and be respectable and stand up on their feet. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't have time to play games. I don't have time for foolishness. I don't have time.
When Diddy was home, in the kitchen doing them fish fries, chicken dinners and things, TD Jakes and Oprah was the first ones in line waiting to get a plate. Now that the heat too hot, they done got up out the kitchen. When Eddie Long was going through it, TD Jakes was flip-flopping. They asked him about Eddie Long and how he felt about Eddie Long and that long stroke. Y'all want to know what TD Jakes said?
Were you able to privately speak with Bishop Eddie Long when he went through his challenges and the allegations that were made against him? Have you ever had a chance to speak with him?
I have tried to counsel him and encourage him during that tragedy, and really, my heart really went out. I thought that it was a tragedy that nobody wanted. You know, everybody suffered. Everybody got wounded. His kids, his family, his church, those boys. Those allegations, the cloud that still remains over everyone involved in it, I thought was tragic.
You said you tried to counsel him. Were you able to counsel him?
You can counsel a person as much as you can and try to comfort them. I don't know whether you can say that they do what you say or every time you tell them what to do.
Right.
Yeah.
With the challenges that we're seeing in the Catholic Church right now, and a lot of the out-of-court settlements, what is the impact that all of this has on the brand or the perception of the church? And
let's start with the impact it has on the victim. Okay, let's start with the impact it has on the victim, because if we prioritize the impact that it has on the church at the expense of the victim, particularly where you're talking about young boys who are being molested, I think they have to take the priority there. And ultimately, we have to find a way to be able to move about the king's business with honor and dignity and class. And when there is failure, we have to correct that with the priority being on the victim. Now, once you do that, then the collateral damage, you have to do some reform with the church and make some other changes in order to be more effective.
Like I told y'all, Reverend T.D. Jakes still my favorite pastor, but he got accusations out there about him too. So do Oprah. People go on and on for days about that school in Africa and how them girls, it's a bunch of victims out there too. So Diddy ain't the only one that's a criminal in Black Hollywood, but I would hate to think that million billionaires in the Black community all criminal. Why can't T.D. Jakes be a good person? Why can't Diddy and Oprah Winfrey be good people? I know they do good deeds, but you got people out there talking about them real bad, telling all different types of stories that got them looking like monsters. Oprah Winfrey is a lovely woman, and if you ask me, she get better with time. I love me some Oprah. I think she fine. Always have been, always will be. But this ain't about how I feel about Oprah and how voluptuous and beautiful I think she is, man. This about people having accusations on all of them, including T.D. Jakes. This man said T.D. Jakes called him from a bubble bath and put the Mac down. And it sounded like they already had sex before he made the phone call. Y'all need to listen at this.
We befriended kind of close with Bishop Jakes. And we decided in one of the times he was there, it was going to be his birthday. I was able to convince my mother to let me drive her car as I didn't have a vehicle. I said, well, we're going to take him out to eat. I want to drive your car. And so we did. We took him out to eat. And it was decided after we were done taking him out to eat that I would be the person to take him back to his sleeping place, which at the time there was a lady named Sister Giles. She always wanted to house and take care of him when he came to that church. And so I came in there, drove him to eat, and then took him back to her home. Well, after taking him back to her home, he says, come on in, let's talk. You can't even imagine being 18, 19 years of age. This person is killing it. And they're saying to you, come on in, let's talk. And so I did. I went in. We sat down at a very long dining room table in a room that she had. And for 2 hours, it was unbelievable. Pouring of heart, crying, him talking about my father. We talking about these scenarios. And I inwardly just knew I had finally found someone who could get it. Someone who understood. I'm sitting at this table, and for the first time talking to any man, I got tears coming down my face because somebody gets me. Somebody understood what I was going through. Well, after sitting there and having this long discourse with him, I finally look at my watch and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to go. I got to get this car back to my mother. She's going to kill me. So I said to Bishop, I got to get up. And I got up from the table. He got up from the table. He walked around toward the way I had to exit quicker than I got over there. And when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died. I could not. I tell you, to this day, I can't remember how I got out of that place. But I remember driving home with all kinds of crazy thoughts and what in the world am I going to do now? And I finally get home, get in the house, get in the bed. I'm going to try to go to sleep. And I get to sleep and get up in the morning. And in the morning, I step into our bathroom and my home phone rings. My mother answers the phone and she says to me, Wayne, it's Elder Jakes. And I get on that phone. And when I get on that telephone, I can hear water. He is sitting in a bathtub. And in that thing, he says to me, without any hesitation, there's 3 things I need you to do. The first one is, when I come to Pittsburgh, you're going to be the only person I sleep with. The second one is, you can't sleep with anybody else because I don't want to give my wife anything. And thirdly, I will take care of you the rest of your life. I can't to this day remember how I got off that phone, but I do know I made a decision that I wasn't going to the service that night. And eventually I told my mother, I'm not going to go to the service tonight. She says, no. You know, we got a rule in this house. If we go, you go. I never told her what he had done. I went to church, and the most humiliating thing imaginable happened that night at church. Bishop Jakes, getting up to preach, speaks into that microphone. I'm going to ask young minister Youngblood to read for me. And after all of that drama of the last 24 hours, I had to read before he preached.
Man, I don't know what to believe at this point, but I'm still going to believe in the Lord, regardless of what y'all got to say about TD, Jakes, Oprah, Bishop, Eddie Long, Diddy, or whoever. But for them to deny that they partied with Diddy got a lot of people not buying into nothing that they selling. That Potter's House church getting smaller and smaller. Oprah ain't getting no views like she used to. What's going on in the world? They might as well keep it real. I think they need to bend the corner, double back, and let the world know they did party with Diddy, and let everybody know they had a good time when they did it. They sure look happy in them pictures. Y'all got to let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section, man. I ain't got nothing but love for y'all. Make sure y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And one more thing before I go. Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be